Good morning. 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 How y'all doing this morning, guys? It's a Monday morning. It's time to start a new week. Have you ever been excited just to start a new week? Man, alive, goodness gracious. Forever I just faked it, acted like, oh yeah, baby, another day, another dollar. Let's go. Let's go. Right? But man, I really am. I'm always excited now. I really, really, really am. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Whether you were with your significant other, if you was with your babies, whoever you were with, I pray it was a good one. This year was it wasn't sad, but it just shows how life stages change. My wife always would cook something nice. We always did Valentine's together, us and the two boys, and we'd have candlelights and all that stuff. But now they got sweethearts, so they off doing their thing. But I treated my sweetheart, and we had a very nice dinner yesterday. So anyway, man, I hope she don't get this. I was going to say, I try to give her Valentine's Day every day, right? She probably would give her an eye roll right there. But anyway, hope everybody's doing good this morning. My name's Chad Free, and I'm a wealth strategist, and I believe true wealth is built from the inside out. And it's literally an abundance of anything that you value. Honestly, here's what it is. When money stops having control of you, and whether you admit it or not, most of us, money does have control over us. That's awful to admit, and it doesn't sound right coming out of your mouth, but if it causes anxiety and stress and all that stuff, it's got control over you. And so anyway, I'm excited to be on this mission. I just put an announcement out that, it was agreed upon recently that my son was going to come on about 6 months ago or something like that. So he has passed his test. He is licensed now, and we took a trip to Dallas. He went on a big boy trip with me to a conference. Never has flown before, so man, it's just exciting. And I just realized I'm just now coming up for air. So, with all that being said, before we get started, let's slow it down a little bit and let's say our affirmations. Y'all like how I do that? You never know what I'm going to bring to the table. All right. On the count of 3, we're going to come off of mute. And I want us to say this together if you mean it. All right. So 1, 2, 3. I am created
on purpose.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just, I did one of them little character cartoon things like everybody and their brother did. My poor mama, she thought I invented that whole deal. She says, honey, everybody's following you. Every time I turn it on, they did what you did. I was like, yeah, I followed somebody else though. I didn't invent that deal. Bless her heart. But anyway, today I'm going to let y'all in my world a little bit. I'm going to let y'all into the world of planning. I'm going to take you through somewhat how I do my appointments, how I talk to people, and a lot of it's going to be about money, but about money principles. It's going to be so different than anything you've ever seen for the most part, unless you've actually met with me before. But I want to go through this, and I hope that I can make it very, very clear and in an understandable way. Okay. And then by the end of this, my goal is for you to say, that's a different way to look at things. Or you can say, I'm actually going to bring up a way to let you know whether you might be qualified to really optimize your wealth building strategies. Okay. So with that being said, I hope that this won't be boring, but I'm going to go through it pretty quick. But again, I want it to be in a way that you can understand it. And, I talk about the outcome a lot and the results a lot. And what I mean by that, I talk about what it looks like, feels like to walk in abundance, not worrying about money. I talk more about that right there on these shows than how do you get there from a money standpoint. I love what I do. I enjoy it. It's fun. But my hope, my goal, my calling is for people to get in a position to where they have control of their money, clarity, and confidence, and money is viewed as provision for your vision. So I'm going to get started right now. So kind of name this as the cash flow control framework. Cash flow control. So what you're going to do is you're going to be able to take control of your money. All right. And the way I always present it is you are at A and you're trying to get to B. Now I'm gonna draw on my handy dandy little whiteboard back there in a minute. Okay. But here's the deal. Everybody's at A and they trying to get to B. They may have not spoken into existence what their B looks like, but I at least get them thinking, okay, when do you want to retire? How much money do you want? Maybe it's not all about retirement. Maybe it's how can you grow your money and use your money like right now to have more money. But here's what I'll tell people. I have a puzzle. I've got 100 different puzzle pieces and I've got a box with no picture on it. Now that's hard to get started on that without a picture, right? So the very first call is always conversation, not presentation. Because when I start getting into your world and understanding what you want and understanding what's bothered you in the past and what keeps you up at night and the thing that kind of scares you, the thing that worries you, see, that's when that picture starts revealing itself on the box. And that's what tells me what puzzle pieces I need to start with, the top left corner, the top right corner, whatever. I might need to get a whole different puzzle out. It's all different, but it's all about you. And my job is to make your B bigger than you imagined or closer than you imagined. All right. Now, once I hear about all of this, I go through a little system, a little process in gathering, okay, well, what's the inventory we're working with? If I'm going to build a financial model, what kind of inventory am I working with? So let me stop right there and I'm going to draw something real quick. Okay. All right. Most of this is going to be, again, conversation, not presentation, but this will make you open your mind a little bit. Hopefully y'all will be able to see this. Give me a second. I should have already had it drawn, but that's okay. We're figuring it out, right? Okay. So here's the deal. I work with people who have money, work with people that want money. The people that have money says, Chad, don't lose my money. They are all about lost dollars. Don't lose my money. The people that have money, that want money, they want A, B, C, D, whatever. Lost dollars, exactly. But really what they want is, how did these people up here get to where they're at? And so I think that this actual drawing, this little visual, addresses how we approach the planning process. Okay? So I'm going to get all commercially here. If the Bureau of Labor Statistics did a study, where does all your money go? When you earn that first dollar until you spend the last dime, where's it going? Where's it all going? Here's where it is. 40% goes to taxes. That's not just income taxes and property taxes. That's taxes on this water bottle, on a piece of chewing gum, food, them chicken nuggets, anything, any kind of taxes. Okay? When we pay those taxes, gone forever. Brock said it. Lost dollars. We never have that money in the ability to have it back in our possession to compound in our favor ever again. 25% goes to our life, just living. Okay? Because that's not so big, what do? We want something nicer, newer, bigger, faster. 25% goes to debt. Now listen, let me remind you, debt payments are made up of principal and interest. Right? The interest is not going towards your debt principal. The interest is going towards somebody else's profit margin. Nothing wrong with making money. But let's know a way to understand to how to get out of that, to spin the tables, turn your debt into wealth. Okay? So that interest, that too is lost dollars. Speaking of consumer debt now, 10% goes towards savings. Now, here's the deal. You go north, south, east, or west of you, anywhere, and you ask, you go to a financial firm or whatever, most of them want to talk about this piece of the pie only, how much you got in there and how much you're putting in there. Yes or yes? And then they're going to say how their platform and algorithms have beat the market the past 11 years, and they ain't a close second. They ain't a close second. We're killing it, timing the market and beating the market and whatever it takes to keep you chasing rates of return. That is how you play the stock market. That's not how you build real wealth. So what we do is we build financial models that reduce taxes, and if it applies to you, reduce and or eliminate debt. And then look here, watch this trick. Woo-wee. Look how much more you have. And you are in control because you put things into place that already exist for you that you may not know about. You're in control and being intentional in reducing taxes and reducing debt, and you're not on this hamster wheel chasing rates of return, addicted to opium. Come on. All right. Now, I'm going to leave that up there because I don't know how to drive it 100% yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to confuse you and all that stuff. Let's get back to this. All right. So now that your mind, I hope, is opened, something different than you've ever seen before. Here's the stages of building wealth. It's called ECAD. E-CAD. C-A-D. You got to be earning. E, that's earning. You earning money. Okay? And then guess what? Now you are contributing. C is contributions. You contribute to something towards your future. And then what you contribute starts accumulating, right? A, accumulation, assets. You hope it gets bigger. And then one day, that D is distribution. Everything that you saved up, it needs to be distributed, whether it's retirement income so you can live off of it, or it's legacy, whatever. But you contribute into something. You hope it grows. And then one day you're going to distribute it. That's how we find what's going on. So here, okay, so now let's talk about this. All right, now pay attention here. I usually don't start out with earning. Okay, I start out with contributing. I want you to write this down because this is going to show you whether or not you're qualified or if you're in a position to truly optimize your particular plan. Put a 5 in the chat if I'm making this simple so far. I want to make sure it's simple, simple, simple. And you know why I'm doing this? Y'all know why I'm doing this talk this morning? Because I saw on Facebook this guy. He looked like a professor like in the chemistry room. And he was talking about today's, you know, what they're doing is they're getting really caught up in what could happen over here and these mutual and stock funds and this and that. And what we're doing is seeing a big sell-off. That's confusion. That's why this makes everybody confused, because they don't know how. They don't know how to do it. They say, we're all trying to do this. And if you're the professor and you can't tell us exactly what to do, then you're still trying to figure it out too. So why am I trying to follow you? Control, clarity, and confidence. That's the only way I want you as a client. All right. Contributions. What are you contributing? Are you contributing to any kind of 401k, IRA, anything like that? Yes, I'm contributing $600 a month. Great. I'll write that down. $600 a month. Boom. If it's 250, fine. If it's 150, great. Whatever that is, I'm finding the money. I'm finding the inventory right now. Follow me. Are you paying any extra on your existing debt on a constant, consistent basis? I put $100 extra toward my mortgage every single month. Great. $100 per month. Now, let me remind you of why I'm doing this. When I say I'm finding the money and finding the inventory, is because when we do our planning, we don't want to interrupt your current lifestyle. We don't want any extra money coming out of your pocket. What we're going to do, as you can see, is we're going to redirect or reposition what you're already doing. We're into solving problems, not creating them. All right. So right now we're sitting at $700. Are you putting any extra into savings account? Yeah, I put 50 a week in there. Wow, that's 200. Okay, so 600, 700, 2 in savings account, that's $900 we just found. So we've got inventory. We have money that we can work with to build a financial model. Now, here's the deal. What if, are you currently contributing to anything? No. All right. Are you putting any extra money towards any debt every single month? No. Okay. Are you putting any money away towards savings? Now, at this point in time, the only way that I'm going to move forward with them is if they say, but my wife and I talked, my husband and I talked, and we're ready to start now, and we have $300 that we want to start with. Okay, fine. You see where I got that? You see how I agreed to do that? Because they have decided if they don't have any money that they're already putting away, then I don't feel good. That's when we go back to the E, earning. And that's kind of on them. They need to look at a side hustle. They need to get to the point where they're earning more than what's going out. And as Derek Green said, I want to help. I'm willing to help anybody, but I'm not for everybody. And guys, that sometimes it tears your heart out when you can't help somebody. All right, so that's contributing. Now I'm going to stay right here and I'm going to tell you, if any of those things apply to you and you're contributing something towards something, more than likely you are qualified. And when I say qualified, I'm talking about to really optimize your wealth in a big way. Okay, with strategies you may not know about. Next thing, accumulating. All right, that could be all no's there. You know, we didn't find anything. Do you have an old 401k, an old IRA? Do you have any money that you've already saved up? Yes, I've got $250,000 in an old 401k. Okay, great. Write that down. Qualified. We can help you with that. Okay, reposition, redirect. Now, the last thing, if we're getting toward the end, we need to look at distribution. Maybe you've already got out of debt. Maybe you're still in debt. Maybe you've done all your savings and accumulating. It's time to distribute now for retirement income. All right, so that's that. Now let's go through this. I'm gonna give you some examples. Golly, I gotta go fast. I'm gonna talk fast. So I want y'all to listen fast, okay? All right. Now, right now, you would know if you're qualified or not, just from what you could raise your hand and say, hey, that's me. Let me just see what we got out here. All right. Now, the next thing is all that money protected? Is it protected? Is it on an escalator or is it on a roller coaster? Are you addicted to opium? Do you know what that money's going to do? So protected. The second thing, are you earning interest or paying interest? Here's what I mean by that. If you have a $500,000 mortgage at 4% interest, APR, all potential reduced. Don't get hung up on the APRs, okay? Here's the deal. Your payment's about $2,387 a month. $1,666 of that is interest. I'm not knocking mortgages. I have one, but I'm showing you how to get out of them. $1,666 is interest. Guys, let me put it down plainly. If you have a bucket, and this is where you're putting your money into to save for the future, if $1,666 is going towards interest, that means you're losing 70% of your money every single month. So you're chasing rates of returns at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. But guess what? You got a hole in the bottom of your bucket, guys, 70% that you're losing coming right out the bottom. And we wonder, I don't know how in the world I can't get ahead. I'm making enough money, but I just can't get there. Because of that right there. You got a hole this big. So here's the question. If you're losing 70%, what investments do you have that's making you 70%? It's that simple. It's that simple. It is. If you're losing it, where are you getting it at? That's why I got him shirt that says, wake up. All right. Now, here's the deal. Let me tell you about banking. I've said this before. This is where we come in with a solution. I want to blow your mind, guys. If you put $10,000 into the bank, deposited, you're depositing $10,000 into the bank. They give you 2% interest. I know that's high, but this is my math. This is my easy math, and this is the only one I have memorized, okay? So just bear with me. And then, so Bethany, she She actually deposits her $10,000 and they're paying her 2% interest. Okay. Hunter wants a new side-by-side or a zero-turn mower, and he goes to the back right corner office. You know what I'm talking about. He needs to borrow $10,000. So he goes back there and they do the paperwork, and they're going to charge him 7%. So they paying Bethany 2%, and Hunter, he's paying the bank 7%. So let's look in 1 year, paying 2%, charging 7%. Now listen to me, here we go. How much is the bank making? 2%, 7%. Fred said 5%. Yeah, that's what we think. But guess what? The bank is using other people's money. The bank is using Bethany's money. The bank gave her $200. You with me? And they turned it into $700. That's 250%, guys. Woo. We could drop the mic right there. We chasing 10 and 11%, and they making 250%. See, we do what the banks do. We do what they don't want to pull back the curtain on. It is what it is. All right, gotta go fast. Tax optimization. Let me share with you the power of compounding, and the devastation of taxes. And man, I'm gonna sound like an auctioneer. Okay, ready? Follow me. $1, if you took $1 and it doubled every year. Okay, let me give you an example. 1 turns into 2. 2 turns into 4. 4 turns into 8. 8 turns into 16. You get it? 20 years, you're sitting on $1,048,000. Ooh, that's big. All right. Now, if you added a 10% tax, that's it. Every time that money was doubled. In 20 years, you have $375,000. That's 67% less. What the what? Who's in a 10% tax bracket? So what if it's 20% at every double? Every time that thing doubled, they're getting 20%. You ready for this? 127,000. That's 7% less. What the world? It's crazy. Guys, the last thing I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you what it is too. Got to go fast. When we get to distribution, I use a lot of annuities. And it's not until I put it all out there that people start saying, okay, well, what's he going to say about annuities? See, annuities, they've been given a bad name. Everything I do has been given a bad name because it's not profitable to the financial institution. But let me show you something, because I believe the value is in the comparison. If this 58-year-old who had $670,000 and he's ready to retire, and we can guarantee him $52,000, guarantee him for the rest of his life to age 99. This is what I tell people. You know where the swimming pool is, the bottom of the swimming pool. That's the bottom. I want you to know where the worst case scenario is, and that's it, and be okay with it. Now let's compare it, because annuities don't sound, you know, exciting and all of that. Well, let's compare it to a brokerage account. All right. If we had a brokerage account, 670,000, I promise you I'm gonna wrap up. If 50% was in fixed at 3.5%, because you want to be safe when you get older, and the other 50% is in equities and stock, and let's consider that 7%, not an average of 7%. It's got to do 7% every year. Okay. If they took out $52,000 a year in that stock account, they're running out of money at age 83 years old. Ooh. Okay. So what would they have to take out of that stock account to make them last to 99? $37,000. That's a lot less. Listen, this is my worst case scenario I'm giving you. You feel the bottom of the swimming pool. But here's the last thing. What would that stock account have to do every year, not average, every year, to be able to produce $52,000 a year and last to age 99? 11.56%. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. But an annuity will give you that guaranteed. So it's all about how you look at it. See, they want to keep you on the hamster wheel. When the market goes down, hey, stay on the hamster wheel, please, because it'll come back around. Every RPM that you turn, bam, you kicking them off management money. It don't matter if you up or you down. Charlie Brown. That's all I got to say. So if you want me to take a look at if I can help you in any way, I want to serve you, show you, educate you. And it's just like that right there. I might not get all yayed up like that, but it's a conversation. You got to start somewhere. You're at A, let's try to get you to B the best way that we know how. Guys, we run out of time. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. I love all of you. And reach out to me. You got all my stuff. DM me, PM me, email me, whatever you want to do if I can help you. Thank you. All right. Be here tomorrow, 8:15. Y'all think I can talk fast? I usually talk slow, but I done turned the hum up, didn't I? Thank y'all. Appreciate you. See ya. Gone.